Hey everybody, welcome back to Not Timmy 66. How the heck is everybody doing today, man? Happy Sunday. So I guess in this episode, we're going to go ahead and discuss what job is really right for me at the post office. I'm looking at the post office. I know I want the benefits. I know I want to work for the post office. But what job can I do, be successful at, and bring home a good paycheck every 2 weeks? What jobs can't I handle? What jobs are just not for me? Let's talk about it. So there was some philosopher somewhere that said, know thyself, right? And that's important because it's important to, before you go looking for a position, any position at the post office or anywhere, kind of know what your limitations are, right? It's kind of smart. Now, nothing says that you're going to know everything about that job or that you're even really going to 100% love that job just because you think you can do the job. You have to take an honest, hard look at yourself, what you can handle, what you can't handle, and make decisions from there based upon that. Because the idea, more than anything else, guys, is being successful at the position that you choose, right? Making sure you're bringing home that money for your family, making sure those kids are going to college, making sure that you're reaping all the benefits and rewards of your hard work. And I guess 101 on that more than anything else is kind of figuring out what position can I handle? What job can I do? What can't I do? What do I know right now sitting here as I'm looking at these different USPS job postings? I know I want to apply for the post office, but I'm not sure exactly what position to go into. I don't know what I can handle. I don't know what I like. I don't know what I like. I don't know what I don't like. Most people know what they don't like, though, right? Most people know that much. And I guess what I'm saying here was more common sense than anything else. Most people are not going to become a plumber if they hate plumbing, be an electrician if they are scared of electricity, right? Most people are going to make obvious choices along those lines. But I'm talking about the different positions within the post office. You've got carrier positions where you can be a postman, right? You've got mail handling positions, right? Where you're working in a plant. You've got RCA positions, which is a rural carrier where you're working out basically what it says, rurally, out in the country, out in the sticks, delivering people's mail and packages, right? They've got office positions where you are standing at a counter and you're saying, next please, come on up, how would you like to deliver some way the package? Everybody's been to the post office, right? They know that position. They know what I'm talking about. And then you've got the folks that are behind the scenes getting everything ready to go for the carriers when they come in, right? So there's all different types of positions. And to be honest with you guys, the best way to kind of gauge that, especially when you don't know like what MHA, PSE, CCA, RCA, all these acronyms really stand for, is to go on the career site for the United States Post Office and really look at the job descriptions, because most of the job descriptions, though they're not going to be all inclusive of everything that you're going to be doing, are going to give you a pretty good idea of what the job is. In my position that I'm going to be going into, which is a mail handler position, I understand I'm going to be working in a plant environment. I understand I'm going to be working long hours. I understand that I'm going to be doing a lot of repetitious work. And, maybe it's not all that mentally challenging. But for me, guys, that's just exactly the kind of job I want right now. I want a job where, I'm not saying it's easy by any way, shape, or form, but I'm saying that once you get used to the job, it's something that's just like a no-brainer. Because I got other things going on in my life and other goals that I've set that I want to pursue, right? And so I don't want my job to be something that has such a huge, long learning curve on it that it's going to take me forever and then I'm never really going to feel comfortable in the job. And also, when I started out with the post office, I started out as a CCA. And I knew going into the position of CCA that I probably wasn't going to be able to handle the job, and there's some physical reasons why. I mentioned getting in and out of the vehicle, and honestly some of the weather conditions here in Texas and working out in the elements as I gotten older are not quite as much for me as they used to be when I was younger. But I also knew going in that I'd worked for Amazon, I'd worked for Federal Express. I know that I can deliver packages, and I know I could deliver mail. So I knew going into the position that it's something that I'd done before and that I could handle for a while I looked for something else. I got my foot in the door as a CCA and then moved over to a position that I really wanted to have. And as I mentioned in previous videos, the very first position I actually applied for in the post office was for mail handler assistant, not as a CCA. I applied for 4 different positions, and CCA is the one that came up first, so I jumped on it. I've since done a transfer over. You guys want to know that whole story, you can go back and watch my previous videos. I'm not going to bore everybody with those details. But know yourself, guys. Know what you can and can't do. I'm not saying that everybody is going to know right away whether or not they can handle a position, okay? Sometimes you get into the job and you do it for a few days and you realize, I might have made a mistake here. This might not quite be for me, right? So there's that. But my advice and what I'm trying to get across to you guys more than anything else is just kind of know what your limitations are. Look, if you've got a bad back, probably being a mail handler where you're going to be lifting heavy stuff, you're going to be stooping and bending quite a bit, and you're going to be on your feet all day for 12-hour shifts, you might want to consider whether or not that's going to work for you. If you cannot, and you know you cannot handle high temperatures, be it super cold weather or super hot weather, being outside in those conditions for 12 hours a day may not be for you. And let me tell you guys something. Anybody that sees the postman coming down the road and he's just in the truck and he's just, bloop, opening your mailbox and throwing your mail in, bloop, closing it, driving up to the next one. It looks easy, right? But the job itself isn't easy. There's a lot to becoming a carrier. There's a lot more involved with the position, and it's a lot more physical than what you think. And by the way, a lot of the CCA positions are walking positions. You park the truck somewhere, you load your bag, you got 40 pounds on your shoulder, you got mail in your arm, and you're walking the neighborhood. Up and down hills, dealing with dogs, dealing with people, all those things. So what our perceptions of jobs are sometimes and what they really boil down to are two different things. But I think if you're honest with yourself and you know exactly what your limitations are before you go in, it's going to serve you in helping choose the right position available. Now, are you locked into a position? No. I'm living proof that you're not locked into one position. I started out as a CCA knowing full well that I wasn't going to stay as a CCA because I knew what my limitations were. I've done delivery work long enough to know that there's some physical attributes to the job or physical aspects to the job that just don't work for me anymore, not at my age. And that's another thing. Am I too old to do this job? Well, how good a shape are you in? How much can you handle? How hard are you willing to work? You may be willing to work, but is the body willing? The mind may be willing, but the body may not. So just keep those things in mind as you consider a career with the post office. I can tell you that there's not many jobs at the post office that once you learn them are going to be all that hard, and once you become conditioned to the type of work you're going to be doing are not going to seem that difficult to you. But knowing it going in is going to save you a lot of heartache, and knowing that you can at least physically handle the position is important. And also another thing I want to touch on is hours. Know that you can work some long hours, and especially starting out as an MHA or a CCA, know that you are going to do the grunt work. You're going to be doing the work that really nobody else wants to do, and you're going to be working long hours because you're going to be filling all those spots that the regular employees, the career employees, don't work. You're going to be working weekends. You're going to be working holidays. You're going to be working those shifts that may be mid shifts that go especially as an MHA, that go from like 2 o'clock in the afternoon to 2 o'clock in the morning. I know there's 3 shifts available with an MHA. There's a morning, a mid, and a night shift. I think there's some differential and some incentive to work those shifts. I'll let you guys know more about that as I get more into it. But know what the shifts are going to be. Know that you're going to be working as a carrier. It's not just a 9 to 5 job, man, and it's not just Monday through Friday. The post office runs 7 days a week. They don't deliver mail 7 days a week, but they do deliver packages. Those packages get delivered. USPS has what's called Amazon Sunday, where they contract with Amazon, and on Sundays all the CCAs, which are city carrier assistants, which I can speak to, go in on Sundays and they deliver Amazon packages, right? So also know your situation. If you're coming from a Monday through Friday job where you get an hour for lunch and you can kind of take breaks whenever you want to, it's going to be a different ball of wax completely with the Postal Service. You're going to get 2 breaks and you're going to get a half-hour lunch, and that's it. So just know the nature of the beast, so to speak. Know what you're getting into, and just be honest with yourself as far as what you think you can and cannot handle. Once you get into the position, if it's something that you just absolutely figure out is the wrong thing for you, then look to move to a different position. Don't quit the current position until you have something else lined up, though, right? Within the post office, especially if you want to stay with the post office. Post office is a great company to work for, and you can retire from the post office. It's one of the few companies out there that I know of that still have a really good pension plan and a retirement plan. Those are things to consider. You want to retire with $1 million and you're young enough, get started with the post office. You can do it. It can be done. Know that you're going to be working a lot of overtime, and you're not a salaried position, which is good, because if you're in salary, most people work overtime, they don't get paid for it. My wife is salary. I know. There's days she puts in 12, 13-hour days. She doesn't get paid any extra for it. At the post office, you do. Anything over 8 hours is time and a half of your hourly wage. Anything over 10 hours per day is double time. You work holidays. You work on the 4th of July. You work on Memorial Day. You get paid holiday pay for those, right? So there's some perks and benefits. I guess the point is just know what your limitations are, know yourself before you get into the position. So I guess, guys, at the end of the day, the main 2 points I want to make in this video is really do your research on the post office. Really kind of get a good understanding. And I'm sorry, now I got a weed eater going in the background. It was nice and quiet until I started filming. So ignore that noise. Ignore the man behind the curtain. But anyway, I'm so easily distracted, guys. I apologize. Just know what you're getting into and do your research first, man. Like I said, there's a lot of really good job descriptions, and maybe talk to people at the post office. Talk to your postman, man. Say, how do you like your job? What did it take for you to get to where you're at? Get some opinions, what people think of the job. Now just be careful with that, because it's been my experience so far that you may come up against someone that doesn't necessarily have the best opinion of the post office. They're a little jaded, and I don't know why that is. So just make sure you gauge that, okay? But do your research, guys. Make sure that you are looking at the job postings and the job descriptions. And if you have questions, man, ask me. That's what I'm here for, man. If I don't know the answer, somebody else, I guarantee you, we got 180 subscribers now. I guarantee you somebody on this channel that watches this channel and reads the comments is going to be able to answer the question if I can. And I will research it and find out for you if no one does. So ask away. That's what I'm here for. That's what this community is about. But also, so know the positions that you're looking at, understand what they're going to be, and also know yourself. Know what your limitations are physically. Know what you like to do, what you don't like to do, what you go, no way I'd spend even an hour a day doing that, as opposed to, I think I could handle it. I mean, do you like being out in the open air? Do you like being out in nature? Do you like a more controlled environment? What can you handle? What can't you handle? Does the heat and the cold bother you? Or is it something that, you know what, it doesn't really matter either way? You're an outdoorsy kind of person, you do a lot of camping, whatever. Just know yourself. Be honest with yourself. It'll set you up for success. Thinking that you can do something and knowing that physically you probably can't is just going to do nothing more than set you up for failure. That's all I got today, guys. I hope everybody enjoyed this. It was just a thought process that I was going through, and I wanted to go ahead and throw that out there. I hope everybody's enjoying their Sunday. If you did like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's free of charge, don't cost you nothing, and the MHA adventure is starting very, 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 very soon. So stay tuned for that. But other than that, guys, take care of yourself. Enjoy your Sunday. If you're working, work smart, not hard, right? Take care of yourselves. Spend time with your friends, your family, the important things in life. Stay positive, and also, no matter what you do in life, don't film when there's a weed eater going. Oh, no matter what you do in life, guys, always, always make it count. Not Timmy66. I'm out.